Okay, we're in late June 1861. Not too much going on as far as action, so I'll just run over that real quick. Let's go through the comments here. We have military balloons. So, pioneer balloonist Thaddeus Lowe ascended over Washington, D.C. in a hydrogen-filled balloon, telegraphed his observations of Confederate lines across the Potomac to the ground, convinced President Lincoln that aerial reconnaissance could greatly aid military operations. Confederates also used hot air and gas balloons. However, in both armies, most officers refused to use the balloon as war machines. That is slightly inaccurate. The balloons actually were used throughout the war, especially in the East, namely for reconnaissance. But yeah, balloons. I think the use of balloons in the Civil War is a pretty cool concept. Okay, we built armories in New England. The Confederacy went with ironworks, so that's actually good to know. And arsenals and armories. So he went double down on his infrastructure, which means less money for him to build troops early game, which means I don't think he's going to make a move on DC this year, which is good. One less thing we need to worry about. I don't know if I'll be in a position to really take advantage of his investments in infrastructure because I'm kind of doing the same thing. I'm playing the long game. If I had been all in, perhaps maybe I could take advantage of this, but that's okay. Okay, I got some more ships coming out, and then we're mobilizing militia throughout the Union. All right, so there was a battle out in Kansas. Nothing too big. It was the Battle of Fort Baxter. We had 750. He had 1170. Looks like he attacked me. We won, though. Interesting. I wonder where this was at. Fort Baxter. Was that here? Benson. Yeah, this is here. All right, so we won this battle. Hopefully we can hold it. Got a couple things going over here, which I'll go over in a moment. But let's just go over here real quick. This should be a pretty quick run through, and then we can run the turn. So I have a bunch of supply wagons here with McDowell, and I'm just reallocating them throughout my front because you really only need one supply wagon per stack. Make it all the way over here if you're not attacking, right? So to get the added benefit combat bonus of having that wagon in with your stacks. And then I took each individual unit and put it in with the general because obviously that makes sense. Let me give him one. I missed him somehow. Okay, artillery, good. All right, so he's all set. So I've got 1,000 power here. He's got about 1182 power. Then 106. I am moving so I'm moving this guy all the way over into the west because I'm going to use him to kind of hunt down his rangers as he tries to destroy my forts that connect Colorado to Kansas, because that's really important. I can go over that in a moment. Supply headquarters is still being built. Moving my engineers over to Harper's Ferry to help them dig in quicker. And then I'm moving my artillery as well, I think, over to Harper's Ferry, I believe. I'm also, actually, this guy right here. So I'm giving him artillery since he's obviously a spot that he could jump across and try and punch through if he wanted. At some point I'll put him in the fort here. I did build this fort, which is good. And so I want to have probably a division in there. Just for now, I'm just going to have him dug in because he does have to do the river crossing penalty until we have more organized units. It's going to be hard for him to do that. This guy's still being built. So yeah, it's just a lot of movement going on here. Just all you need to know is that I'm reinforcing the front here. Alexandria is now active, and then Harper's Ferry. What we have here is 410 power force. He's got 327 with Johnston. And so we're pretty dug in here, Harper's Ferry. And then I'm using my cavalry to build military control along the rail line here. Jumping over here, nothing much going on in West Virginia. I've got a 131 force up here in Pittsburgh. And then he's just kind of hanging out. I'm going to move another general over here to give him a little bit more support just to try and decrease the chances of him attacking me and knocking me out of this region. Okay, jumping over to the west, over by St. Louis. Got 150 power force here in Cairo with a little bit more coming up. I am going to build a redoubt here as soon as the artillery is done here. Not much in St. Louis, so I'm building a little bit more here to reinforce St. Louis. And then once these artillery pieces are complete, then they will be used to build a redoubt in St. Louis and Cairo, and then also provide some artillery support for my defense here in St. Louis. We did take Jefferson, Missouri, so now what I'm going to do is get military control of the very end of this rail line here, and then once I have the forces, I'm going to push a forward force here, and then build a supply depot on this rail line to use as eventually as a forward operating attack against Springfield. Obviously, what I think he'll try to do is get in between there and try and screw up my supply on the rail lines, and maybe even try and make a move on that. That's why I'm going to wait, until I have a decent force that can defend this, as well as defend my rail supply. But that'll be the long-term plan. And then over here, I have this guy here forward. Obviously, not a very large force. Probably won't be able to hold out for long, but I think for the interim, good. Because I still got some forces being built up here. My general is almost here. He'll be forward next turn. And then I probably want to send another general over, to be honest with you. I just don't know if I have anybody available. I've got so many guys over here that are controlling forces. Got him there. Yeah, so I just don't know if I want to move. I don't have anybody else that I can move over at the moment, to be honest. And this guy's worthless, obviously. That's why he's up here. So, anyways. Okay, so that's what's going on over here. Nothing going on too much in the middle. And then I did take this supply area here. Probably what I'll do, he lost all his cohesion taking it. So I'm going to wait a turn, and this is still undefended. I'm just going to jump him down and take that. Again, just to harass his supply, and just kind of mess with him. He's over here, and here's my concern. So let's get up here. I'm really concerned about my supply up here in Colorado. Like, this is a really important area. It's got a mine, so we get 10,000 bucks a turn from this area. These places down here, kind of whatever. It's really hard to make a push from the Colorado area down into New Mexico and Arizona because you just don't have the troops to do that from here. Plus, it's very mountainous and hard to move around. But what he could do is these forts here. So here, and then all the way down. If he were to burn some of these, it would screw up my supply pull from Kansas and eventually would choke off Colorado from supply because Colorado doesn't produce very much supply. But what does happen is Kansas, as connected to the rest of the Union, these forts kind of pull it forward over time to over here. So what I'm going to need to make sure I do is, he's going to burn these forts down here. It's going to buy me some time to hopefully get a couple guys over here to just kind of protect these areas. I'm going to use Rangers initially, although that's not ideal. What I'm going to ultimately do is bring Stone's brigade from DC over and then use this guy. So I'll have at least 2 mounted volunteers kind of policing this area, if not 3. And that'll be my long-term approach to trying to protect this supply line here. California, I built a flatboat here in South California, which will be done probably next turn. And then we did take Western Arizona with our cavalry. So now I'm going to stock up here because we do have a stockade. So the stockade is going to pull supply forward from our little port or our supply depot that we're going to be building here with our flatboat. That'll be pulled forward. And then hopefully in 62 we'll be very well supplied, both with supply wagons, supply here, and then forces to push south into Arizona. I don't know if he's going to push forward to eastern Arizona to try and dig in. He might. If he does, I'm probably just going to bounce back and forth, kind of disrupting his digging until I have a chance to really push forward. Obviously, I have these forces too here in Fort Craig, which He's doing it 3. That I can also use to kind of hit him in the rear. So we'll see. Okay, and then finally, building a lot of artillery, obviously, because my money was able to keep up, but not my conscripts. And here's the overall disposition of our replacements. That's that. So let's run the turn and see what happens. Also, there was no opportunity to build more rail line or river boats or anything like that for my supply. It's my supply chain this turn. So it looks like right now he's just trying to capture all the forts. But I'm going to bring some stuff over there to hopefully deal with that. He's making some movement there in West Virginia. Oh, he's pushing deep into Kansas, it looks like. Or maybe just trying to take that fort. Stick with that, who knows. Alright, so he beat me to that fort. That's annoying. I think that's, yeah, see, I don't want to lose this one here. He's only got the one dude, so good. Okay, I got him available. I'm gonna go deal with him. So I need to hold on to these forts right here. This is what I care about. I care a little bit about these, but I don't have the forces early game to deal with it. He's being really aggressive, using all these guys. He's committing all of these rangers to these forts over here. I can't compete with that early game, so I'm just going to consolidate my efforts on here. Okay, let me well, let's go through the messages here real quick, and then I'll take a pause, do movements, and come back. He sold a bunch of his cotton bales, so he used one of his cards to sell cotton bales to Great Britain. So the downside of that means that you get the initial guaranteed money for that sale, but what you don't get are the random $50 money actions that happen from your cotton sales to Europe. When you actually actively use the card to do that, then you lose the chance for the randoms. And so it's a plus minus, right? The plus is you get guaranteed money when you need it. The downside is you may get a little bit less money long term, possibly, because it gets random. But the random sometimes can benefit you by giving you more money long term. He moved up here to take this fort. I'm not necessarily too worried about that. I would rather have this fort here than here, but he's got an 86 power force, so obviously I can't deal with that yet. My forces are still being built. All I've got is this guy. Yeah, so not sure what to do about that because he'll probably just burn it. Okay, so that's that. Our shipping lanes brought in 42 money. 3 raiders are chilling there in the shipping lanes. Which, let's go over there real quick. So I've got this guy trying to track him down, although, you know, it's tough to find these raiders. And then I added more transports here. So we now have, in addition to the merchant ships, we have 3 transports. And I'm going to build more transports throughout the game, including this turn. until I've built all the transports, and then most of the transports are going to be in the shipping lanes. And then whenever I need them for amphibious operations or whatever, I'll pull them out of the shipping lanes, reallocate them for offensive operations, and then reintegrate them into the shipping lanes. All right, let's see here. What's Kansas Mounted Volunteers? Where are you at? Oh, that's right. I got this guy. I really should send him over here. I need to get him up there. Can I? Can't get him there right away. Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna send him over there because I got a feeling he might push up. There, I'm not too worried about. It's only level 1, city. But up here is where I'm worried about. I can use him to grab military control. First, I want to connect these. I want this rail line here, and then we'll go from there. Is this stuff done yet? Jeez, it's taking forever. That's right. I'm so used to playing the Confederacy where your stuff builds faster. The build times are slower as the Union. Okay, these are supplies. Actually, one of these is going to go down there for the... Alright, and then we have 189 force here. So we're doing okay. Sorry, let's go through here. Okay, so that battle that we lost. Strategic redeployments. The Great Comet. What's this all about? On June 29th, 1861, a great comet, first discovered in May in Australia, passed in the northern hemisphere. At its peak, the comet's head was a third the size of the moon. Wow, that's actually ginormous. And its tail stretched from the zenith to the horizon. The comet passed so close to Earth that for 2 days the Earth actually entered its tail. Basically, does it prophesize war? All right. Northern papers push for immediate offensive. Forward to Richmond! The rebel Congress must not be allowed to meet there on the 20th of July. By that date, the place must be held by the National Army, the New York Tribune said. Early in the war, many newspapers in both the North and the South were counting on one grand battle to end the war quickly. The northern newspapers in particular pushed the government to march south and kill the snake in its nest. By taking Richmond before the first Confederate Congress could meet, the pressure forced the hands of both military and civilian leadership, who could move and risk battle with an untrained and untried force, or delay and submit to being mauled by the media. In mid-July, the Union Army moved south with the largest force seen to date in North America, and gave both sides a taste of the horrors to come at the Battle of First Bull Run, or First Manassas, as it was known by each side. All right, let's see. Is McClellan ready? He is. Okay, we are going to relocate him to start training up our militia. It is going to happen. You're going to go over here. All right, so he's going to start training up militia. Good, we got some artillery ready to go. Pull him out. That way I can just figure out where he's at. We should have got money for it. If we had huge stockpiles of this stuff left over, why did I get money for it? Doesn't look like it. Or maybe I did. Strategic events and decisions. Alright, rail pool, we can invest in those two now. Nice, we can pay volunteers. Awesome. Construction started on our projects. Okay, so that's everything. Alright, so let me go through here. Close these out. Yeah, tracking, bro. Tracking. Alright, and volunteers. Okay, so let me do the movements here, get back here, and go through everything. All right. Major stuff here. Just a couple of house cleaning things to go over before we conclude this part of the video. We got 482 power here in Harper's Ferry. He's got 406. Not sure what he's got here. it's about 1100 power. We've got 1167, so pretty even. 266 for me here, and yeah, redoubt. Building another one right here. Eventually, I'll put forces inside those redoubts, really just to slow him down in the event that he wants to try and do it like a left hook around DC and try and get around me that way. Moving McClellan back here, and then I'm going to stack up my militia and my conscripts. I went ahead and bought several conscripts here, and then militia also to move down. So those guys will be there for McClellan to train up to line infantry. Getting military control of the rail line here in West Virginia. He did attack over here. Not too worried about it, though. We have 146 power force here. Let's combine these guys. Then these guys here that have not unlocked yet as well. Right. I did keep my boat here. Again, just kind of be abundance of caution to protect my Pittsburgh. Jumping over to St. Louis, 189 in Cairo. Still waiting on my artillery to be built up here. Got a lot of stuff being built, and then once it's built, I'll disperse it accordingly. My goal here in 61 is fortify St. Louis, fortify Cairo, get good control of this rail line all the way down from Jefferson all the way into here, build a supply depot, and then be ready in 62 to potentially move out on Springfield. Possibly. We'll see how that goes. I am building cavalry up here in Illinois. 1, to effectuate military control. 2, to protect my logistics lines here as I move forward. And 3, to deal with any sort of leakage that I have up in my Kansas interior, Missouri interior from his cavalry. And then potentially also to provide a little bit of support to these supply fort lines up here. As you saw previously, this guy populated his turn, so I'm sending out to hopefully take care of him, knock him out. We'll see how that goes. And then I did build a couple of mounted cavalry down here, so I built him there, or he's being built. Building, where's he at? Down here. I'm building him down here too, and I'm going to bring him up as well. So I think between these two guys and then a couple of things I'm bringing support, I should be able to maintain a good policing presence along my supply area here. Assuming I can take care of this threat first. That's the primary threat. Right. Putting the supply depot here once this is built. And then as far as builds are concerned, I went ahead and built a bunch of transports, again, for my merchant ship fleet for supply. Still waiting on my headquarters to get done. And then you saw these guys are for these guys here, this guy, or not this guy. These guys, Delaware, New York, Baltimore, Maryland guys. These are all for McClellan to train up to line infantry, because even though they might have a line infantry element in them, they also have a volunteer or a conscript element in them. Building a doctor out in St. Louis for that stack, and then building some infantry in St. Louis and Kansas to try and bolster up some sort of defensive line in the event that he decides to try and go on the offensive out in that area. Replacements, didn't put much into this turn. I did put a few into the Raiders. That's these guys right here. And I think that's it on that. I did go ahead and build a telegraph line in Philadelphia here, get this up to 80. I want to eventually do it down here in Maryland with both of these areas, right? But we need to at least have loyalty above 50% before those bonuses would take effect. So no point to do it just yet. I don't really have any other cards to play at this moment that are worth it. So next turn, I'm going to throw money into all 3 of these here: Rail Pool, River Pool, and Volunteers. I'm hoping, let's see, early August will be the next time that I can do pursuing bonds. So we'll see. I think I can make it there. I don't think I needed I don't think I need to print money just yet. we'll see. We'll see how my conscripts do. But I think we may be okay on that front. And then I'm waiting to build arsenals. So once I can build arsenals, I'm going to do that. I don't need necessarily any more armories. The reason I want arsenals is they provide both money as well as ammo. Armories provide you, I think, 2 money, I want to say. But then you get the arsenals that give you ammo and money. Alright, so that is most of what's going on. We have 2 more blockade ships coming over here, so we'll have 4, and then ultimately I'll have 5. And then I should have an extra one to probably do some sort of brown water blockade somewhere, because I like to have 5 in each stack. And I think we have 11 total. So I'll figure out where to put that 11th one at some point. We do have the 8th, though, here in Hampton Roads, blockading Richmond. So that's good. Okay, I'm going to send the turn over to Josh. He's going to do his thing, and we'll see how everything goes. Thanks for watching.
Alright, welcome back. Not too much happened this turn. I'll try to make it pretty quick. I'm kind of going all out here, out in the west here in Texas. I'm building a couple more cavalry units. Mainly they're easy to get back over to the east a little bit, but I'm also building another infantry brigade here with the sharpshooters. So if I don't win the west, there's something wrong. This militia unit, I just don't think he'd make it to Tucson before he would. Probably take him forever to get over there and just waste. So I'm trying to send these 3 cavalry over there. Hopefully I get there before him, and hopefully I can stay there until I see his main force come down here. Then I'll burn it and get out. Up here with the Rangers, I got all the forts I wanted to. I'm burning this one coming down here, burning these 2, and then I'll move these guys east, and then I'll use this guy just to burn the rest of these over here. The 3 extra ones I built, it'd take more than 1 turn to get to these 2 forts here. So I think what I'm going to do is just take this one, and then I'll try to use the same guy to take the rest of them and just burn them. And I'm pushing these guys over east because I need some help over here. There was a fight up here. I took this fort. It looks like I took it before his Rangers got in. It's a small fight, but we did win the fight. Let's see, where's that? Okay, 150 against 150. I lost 15. He lost 30. So won that fight. I don't anticipate him pushing me out of there, so I'm just going to burn it while I'm sitting there defending it, unless he can pull in another unit. And if he does, I think this guy would have to fight first anyway. So we'll see how it works. I debated on putting my guy in the fort and then burning it, but I didn't want to risk him being under siege and then just surrendering, because there is a chance of that. And it's actually pretty high if you don't have a supply wagon in there. So I'm not putting him in there. Over here, our luck's a little better than last turn. I took this fort without a fight. Looks like he's got a unit here, but it's not bigger than mine. I'm going to burn this one. I'm going to stay here this turn, kind of regain some cohesion, and then I'm going to try to move down on this fort. As you know, eventually I'm going to burn this one. Got some units building up here, cavalry, big infantry brigade that I'm going to move up here. And once I get the regulars up here, I'm going to pull all the militia and volunteers out, move them over east so they can get trained up a little later. And eventually I'm going to try to burn all this, even the towns, everything. I'll eventually pull out of here probably and just have a unit here. And if everything's gone around me, I mean, he'll have to take a long time and a lot of resources to get around me, and then I can cipher off in a bunch of these troops. My army in Little Rock, the Army of the West, were activated this turn. I knew that, so I sent my transports over here. I'm pulling them out. I'm moving them here, and then I'm going to march them here, and then they'll be my force to try to do whatever with Kentucky when it turns. This guy, I'm kind of cautiously putting him up here because I know he's got some units, and I'll probably send it over soon to take this and get a foothold. You can defend a lot easier across a river, especially a big river, I think. So trying to get him in there. Hopefully he can't get there before that. I am building a few artillery units since Kentucky's not in play any. I'm trying to get stuff from far away. Where did I build them? Oh yeah, 2 artillery pieces here. So I'm sending some riverine transports here to pick them up. While I have that buffer, I'm going to try to get the units that would be hard to move now, and that way, when we start getting more troops on each side, when I build up a troop, they'll be kind of close by, and it may be easier to get them to the front lines. I'm putting a lot of stock in New Orleans, building a lot of factories here, although only one's building now. And there's one in Virginia building. I should be getting another one and some arsenals and armories too. I guess they just haven't started yet. I was going to build another unit here, but I didn't have enough resources, so I'm just leaving it as it is right now, and I'll have to put some more resources into that. Not much happening elsewhere. I got Polk, moving him up here. This guy should be activated next turn. Yep, next turn. When that happens, I'm kind of going to split these forces in these 3 areas here. And then, of course, have a substantial amount of force here as I can to move on Bowling Green as soon as Kentucky turns. Over here, there was one other battle this turn. My cavalry went over to Parkersburg. I guess I couldn't take it. I'm not sure if... I think you have to have a certain type of unit to take level 2 cities and above. I guess I don't have it because I won the battle and there was no fight. I put him on red again to see if he does it next turn, and we'll see if it happens. I guess cavalry can't take it, maybe. I don't know. I thought if they had an artillery priest, they could take a level 2 city, but I don't know. Also, I'm plundering the area to get some money. I'm not sure if you have to stay in the region for a certain period of time to do it, so I'm just going to test it now, and I'll find out. I've probably known before, but again, like, there's a lot of things you forget from game to game. So I'm pulling them back over here. Eventually, I'm going to plunder here, burn this city. And a little later, probably after the first winter, I'll burn this city and pull these guys back here, and hopefully I can keep off any attacks from over here. I didn't really build any more units over here. I didn't have the resources. I'm kind of putting all my eggs out west and on the Mississippi and Arkansas right now. I'm kind of cautiously moving Johnson up to Winchester. I'm not sure why he didn't just take it. I would have. There's nothing I can put there. I can't rail anybody there, so he'd definitely get there before me. And these guys just became active, so I'm really not sure why he didn't take it. But anyway, I'm moving them up there 6 days. When I move them here, it says it would take 12, so I'm kind of banking on it'd take him at least 6 days to get to this region as well. And whatever force he has here, I'm pretty confident that they would beat him. Maybe next turn I'll take some of this cavalry and knock these guys out. I want to keep these rails torn up and keep military control if I can. If you remember last time, I had Beauregard in the city because my trainer guy couldn't leave the city because he was still being built, but they're all built now, so he's outside the city waiting. Got some guys coming to reinforce him. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I will run the turn. Actually, well, yeah, I mean, I sunk some merchant ships, so let's see. Computer's being slow. So I sunk 12 money and 8 war supply. I got 1 money and 7 war supply with roughly the same amount of ships in each box. So that's why I say I think it's better to take money from the Union than try to go through the blockade and bring stuff back to your guys. I mean, minus 12 money from him, only 1 from me. And this is even 3 ships. It's not even 4 ships. Now, I'm not sure if having a good commander in there makes it do. What does Raider do? That's just an evasion buff, it looks like. So there's that. And then, of course, I got the 2 over here in the blockade. 4 ships getting me 1 money, 3 ships taking 12 away from the Union. Although, I mean, they did give some war supply. I took 8 war supply away and got 7. So, I mean, I am needing war supply right now. So I'm just going to keep these guys here for right now. But I think any future ships, especially over here on the east side, I'm not putting in the blockade. I'm just going to put in the shipping lanes. I will run the turn, and I will see you next turn. Welcome back. This turn there was absolutely 0 battles, so this should be pretty quick. I'm moving this guy in here, like I said last turn, try to hold here, burn it, get out. I got Shelby here. Excuse me. I got a few other, got another brigade and a few cavalry regiments. Once they're done, which should be in 14 days for all of them, I think not next turn, but the next one I'm going for the fort. I'll probably have to build a wagon just so I can keep supplied up here. I may have to build 2, depends on how long this guy's under siege. Because I just want to force him to surrender, and I think if he's in the fort, fixed in there, I'm not sure if he's fixed, but if he's fixed in there, there's really nowhere he can go. And I think he's there for as long as my guy here is, which is 6 more turns. So I think I'm not going to do it. Going to do it in a couple of turns. Up here, that was too far. Up here, I'm just taking and burning. This guy is going to burn this one and get out. These 2 guys are burning and moving. There wasn't a fight here, but I mean, he did push me out. So, and I was actually reading in the forums the other day, like you'd wonder why. Actually, this probably doesn't apply, but sometimes like you can be on assault posture, and if you have a unit in the field, they may take the structure without even engaging that unit. But it looks like they did. They just kind of pulled out. I'm not sure why. This is just 1 cavalry regiment, so I figured they'd at least put up a fight for that. I'm not sure why they didn't, although it is probably about 600 troops against 150, but still. So I'm just going to kind of pull him out of there to avoid hitting these guys, because I really don't want to fight with them right now. I'm just kind of pulling them up and around. I'm going to bring them down here, help burn these. I did take this fort. I'm not going to burn that yet. I'm just going to get these forts and take them first. Then I'll probably bring this guy or the guy moving here to come down and burn them. These 2 rangers are going to take this area. And then he is going to take that area. Assuming there won't be any resistance. I'm going to try to take this fort here and burn it. And then I'll try to move southward. I'm not going to try to take this one. That'd be overextending too much. I'd be way out of range of my supply and reinforcements. So if I can take this and burn it, I'm going to focus on trying to take this and then eventually this. This guy's moving back. He didn't really engage. He didn't engage anybody, so I was hoping he would just kind of hit somebody, but he didn't. I'm moving him back. I'm moving this guy here to link up with the unit I'm moving in here, trying to get in between this guy. Of course, I'm building up some more troops here. Moving these guys out. Cavalry out. Because like I said, he does. It seems like he's building a lot of troops here. That doesn't necessarily mean he's coming this way. But like I said, I'm playing this game assuming Kentucky's going to hold for a little while and the long game. So he could not send anything over this way. I don't know. He's got quite a big force here. I have not much here, so I mean he could probably move over the river and move me out. Um, Hopefully he doesn't. I got some more units training up here, and I'll go up there to reinforce. So I want to try to hold this area. I'm bringing up my. I do have a fleet of gunboats here, and I'm going to go up there and try to just bombard him if he comes over, and hopefully that'll keep him away. We'll see. Uh, Moving Army of the West here. I'm spreading these guys out a little bit, sending McGrady to Dover, Clarksville, keeping one here. I'm sending most of my guys to Clarksville because, of course, when Kentucky turns, I got to take Bowling Green quick and hold that for a good while because it's going to take a while to get all the Kentucky troops out. I'm reinforcing here with some regiments and brigades. I had a lot of militia units available this turn. Like each state has its own kind of militia unit. I'm railing all of those guys east to be trained up under that guy you get in Richmond soon. Keeping these guys here. Got my fleet from Richmond coming in soon. Let them rest for a minute, then I'll send them out. I'm railing the troops you get in North Carolina here up to up in this area. I'm burning Clarksville. I'm going to get out of there. I'm pulling these guys up here just in case movement's slow because I don't want them to run out of food here and then my troops start to starve. And then, of course, when you have to replace them, it takes money. If you'll notice, I'm out of money pretty much, out of recruits, out of war supply. So not much I can do right now. I did build some more units. Let's see what I got here. War production. Yeah, I'm building some more cavalry units, some more in Missouri. I did build 2 more regiments down in New Orleans because, of course, I have to hold that because that's where all my industry is going to be. So need to make sure this place gets beefed up. I didn't have many conscripts, so I'm starting to build some artillery. I'm going to do it down here in Texas because, of course, late in the game. I wouldn't say it's harder to transport them over, but it's easier right now that Kentucky's not in play. So I'm going to send a transport over here and transfer these guys to another area. Other than that, that's pretty much it. They did have the option to an enlistment premium. I just did $1. You can do nothing, $1, $1.05, and $2. I just did $1. I think they come based on your morale level. So we'll see what I get. But of course, if you do a bigger premium, you'll get more people. I'm not sure if Tim's going to do it or not, but we'll see if he does it. I'm sure he will. In the Tennessee elections, that doesn't really affect anything in the game. So we'll send this over to him and we'll see what happens.